Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on into the third official episode of the FS Podcast, otherwise known as the Fantasy Sports Podcast. Today is Thursday, April 30th, 2020. I got Wade here again.
Yeah, as always. Thanks, Jackie, for the intro. And what we're going to talk about today is our top running backs for fantasy football.
Keep in mind this is a early list. This is subject to change as the season gets closer.
Yeah.
We will be pumping out another top 10 as the season gets real close. But we got a little bit of news this morning that broke, consisting of the Cincinnati Bengals. You know, they just picked up Joe Burrow. Mm-hmm. And I think this was pretty obvious of what was coming. They went ahead and cut Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, you don't really can't see anything about it. I mean, what did you think was going to happen?
I thought they would have kept him. I was reading the comments and stuff from the post, and they were like, oh, they should have kept him to, mentor Joe Burrow or something.
Like a backup kind of thing?
Yeah, but I got a feeling he's not even going to go anywhere. Let's be honest. Look at last season.
Oh, you talking about Joe Burrow? Or?
No, Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I don't see him anywhere either.
You think his career is pretty much put on hold?
No, I probably is. I think he's still going to be
I feel like he's going to go to, maybe Carolina because they don't have a set quarterback. They got, 3 or 4 quarterbacks.
They do, that's right. So, I could see him in the future still. Probably not doing as well, but,
What about the Steelers? You think he could go Steelers? Big Ben. He got injured last season. Mm-hmm. I see Big Ben coming back, though.
I see him, too. But I wouldn't mind him going to Steelers at all.
Mm-hmm. He's got juju.
Yeah. It gives him some resources.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens to Andy Dalton. I mean, you never know.
All right, so before we get into the top 10 of our running backs, just want to mention to follow our social media. Instagram is fantasy.sports.podcast, and our Twitter account is F_S_podcast.
You guys can go ahead and follow us and try and you can say that you were here before 100, something to look at.
Before double digits.
That's true. We need one more follower on Instagram. We'll get 10. But as Wade was saying earlier, we're going to go ahead and transition into our top running back rankings.
And as Jackie said earlier, this is the early list, so of course it's going to progress and change throughout the year before the season starts. But this is just for what we have right now.
So, also, too, I don't think we really took into account PPR or anything. This is basically... Would you say this is kind of standard?
I would say this is standard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was just, it's standard. I would say standard. Of course, if PPR can run in there if we have to. It gives you more points, not going to lie.
Yeah.
So.
But I think some of these backs on this list, actually, are pretty PPR friendly.
Yeah, they are.
So, we also ranked a little bit of ourselves, and we're going to say where we would rank this player in terms of top 10, and then we're going to say where we agreed on.
Yeah, the list we're going to say right now are the running backs we agreed on in the top 10.
So, number 1, of course, we got Christian McCaffrey coming off his 116-catch season.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
We
both agreed on number 1 spot for Christian McCaffrey.
We just looked at each other and yep, okay. That's all it is. That's all you have to say.
So if you got the top 5, no, I wouldn't say top 5, top 3 spots, pick up McCaffrey. Standard or PPR.
He was so consistent last season.
He only had, one game, which was week 2?
Week 2, which was 7 points. But
he averaged 20?
He averaged 20 points every week. So he's consistent. Even though Cam Newton wasn't doing so good for them, he was still consistent. Even though if they were losing, still consistent, with his points.
So at number 2, we have Zeke. I put Zeke at 2.
Yeah. I didn't have him as 2, but, after, discussing it and, we just agreed that, Zeke can take the number 2 spot.
Do you feel like for the future list, do you think Zeke's value is going to go down because of CeeDee Lamb? I think he is. I think he's still going to, be Zeke, but I don't think he's going to be Zeke.
Yeah. I can see him still going down, especially with the new rookie, CeeDee Lamb.
I think CeeDee's going to take a lot of the stuff away.
Yeah, that's right. But, Zeke would be Zeke.
That's true.
So, like I said, he still can be consistent, within his games, getting those rushing yards, of course, getting that push towards the end zone.
Yeah.
He's there when they need him.
Number 3, we got Saquon.
Mm-hmm.
I put Saquon at 4.
Yeah. Saquon was last year number 1. He was the number 1 running back on the list.
Oh, yeah, he was.
He was. And
Going into it.
And
Christian McCaffrey wasn't even on people's radars, I think.
No, I don't even think so. But, he got injured, of course, and, it was just kind of that year. It was just, didn't do so well for him. Of course, he still did really good for being a running back, but...
I think the biggest thing is he's the primary back, and that's what you want to look for when you're picking a running back, is that primary back.
Yeah, so, even if you have him, the 5th pick of the first round, and he's still there, pick him up, it's not going to hurt you. It's still going to give you some consistent points, and, like you said, he's a primary, he's always there.
And, going into another season, you always got to deal with regression.
Yeah.
I want to touch on Zeke again. Do you think Zeke is going to regress? I think he's going to regress in the sense, CeeDee's there.
Yeah.
But do you think he's going to regress in the sense that, as you get older, you ain't going to have that same speed or athleticism? Do you think he's going to be there? Or?
I don't think so. I kind of think knowing that CeeDee Lamb is, joining, them now, I can see him kind of push himself to be a little better than CeeDee. Just because.
What about the regression of Christian McCaffrey? Do you think his catches are going to go down? I think so.
I think so too.
I don't think he's going to have
because everyone knows how he is now. Everyone knows okay, this is how he plays. This is what he's going to do. So of course his stats or his receiving is going to go down just a little low.
Yeah, the defenses are kind of game plan for him.
Yeah, so he's going to have more of a less time to get the ball.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Saquon's going to regress?
I kind of thought he regressed last year already.
Yeah?
Yeah, but...
That's true.
I think this year he probably will progress, knowing that he didn't do so well.
You think he's going to go up, actually?
He's going to go up a bit, yeah. I think so.
Do you think, we saw that, Saquon could get hurt.
Yeah,
Do you think he's going to get hurt again?
There is a chance. You never know within the NFL, but...
It's all random, usually.
It's always random, but I could see him... He could get hurt, but, knowing that he got hurt last year, he's going to try to progress not to, because it ruined his, his potential.
That's true. But, you got Daniel Jones throwing him the ball. Daniel Jones, he ain't bad.
He's not.
But, he doesn't have the same accuracy as Eli. But do you like Daniel Jones, a quarterback for the Giants, throwing Saquon? I think he's all right.
I think he's all right. Like I said, Saquon will be there for him when he needs him. Even though, this is me in his eyes all the time.
That's true. So I want to kind of take a break real quick off of the top 10s and talk about one of the stars that really shine, and that was Kenyon Drake. Oh. Do you see him breaking 10, 15?
I can see him breaking probably 15, top 15. Just knowing he, of course he started out with Miami for a while. He
wasn't fitting in Miami.
He wasn't doing so good, and so with him moving to the Cardinals in his first game, he did really good. So knowing that the Cardinals now have him as a weapon, I could see him progressing and going up to making his way to top 15.
I see Kenyon Drake, he's going to be that yardage guy. Yeah. But I don't see him being as explosive as he was, because he really surprised people.
He did. He really did. And especially when they got rid of David Johnson now, so it's just a bigger spot for him to fill.
So next up, we got Aaron Jones at the 4 spot. I had Aaron Jones at 3. Yeah. The Packers, they drafted a running back. Do you still see Aaron Jones taking the starting job?
Yeah, I still do. He did really good last year, and even though they drafted a new rookie, there's no guarantee that rookie is gonna get a starting position. So I still see him being consistent with his games. Of course, he still has Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers. Oh wait, he has a backup too.
Yeah. So that's gonna put. I think the backup was actually a good move for Green Bay. Because it's putting more of a flame under Rodgers.
I heard though that that Aaron Rodgers might not finish his career in Green Bay.
Really? You think he's gonna pull like a Brett Favre? And go to say the Lions or something?
I don't know. That's what I heard. I don't think of that. It's just a thought,
Mm-hmm.
So
you never know.
You never know. You just never know.
I think it's gonna be tough in Green Bay. with the starting running back job and the starting quarterback job.
Yeah, it is.
I honestly don't see. I see Rodgers finishing the season.
Yeah.
As a starter, maybe next season they'll start incorporating Jordan Love.
Yeah.
At QB.
I don't. It's like even if Aaron Rodgers leaves, it's kind of hard to fill Aaron Rodgers' shoes.
That's true.
To leave in Green Bay
because he's that.
He's that main
he's
guy.
Unique,
He's that main guy. He's Green Bay's guy.
Yeah.
Before Matthews and all them left, so.
I know it's crazy. We're gonna move on to number 5, Alvin Kamara with the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Brees throwing the ball, Michael Thomas, and now you got Jameis. Jameis probably ain't gonna start, but
I don't know if he might be consistent with his games, but he might have a little blow up here and there. I don't, but of course, with him having Drew Brees, of course he's gonna get the yardage and receiving. Drew
Brees, he's old.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. He's a veteran, so he knows what to do. Especially with
Do you see Kamara maybe blowing up this season? Because last year I think he was kind of dying down a bit.
He was dying down a bit, but I could see him blowing up. But I don't know if he's gonna blow up like the whole season. I could see him like
a couple games.
Like 3 games, and then go down and go back up. Kind of like that up and down, kind of like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So
the roller coaster fantasy.
Trade him, pick him up.
Yeah. I remember last year. Didn't he get hurt last year?
Did he? Oh, he did get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see that happening again?
Like I said, you never really know. It's random, but there is a chance he can get hurt again. Of course, they're gonna have a backup. So.
Yeah. I could see. Do you see Kamara as a consistent top 10 though? I think it's hard to say. It
is hard to say. I could probably see him like top 15 maybe, but I don't really see him consistent of top 10 every year.
Because it's not that Christian McCaffrey. But, usually the top 3 guys are guaranteed top 10 all year.
Yeah, that's true. Like Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. We're gonna move on to the next one, number 6, Dalvin Cook with the Vikings.
Yeah.
You got Kirk Cousins. You got the new rookie, Justin Jefferson, and Adam Thielen. Do you see Dalvin Cook? How do you see his regression?
I don't really see him dying down much, because knowing that he got his new rookie, even having Cousins, I still see him being consistent, with his games.
I saw Dalvin Cook, I think it was the beginning of the season. He was real explosive. No one could tackle him.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
It was. He did really good, But, here and there, you just never know.
Do you see him? He got actually hurt as well last season. Because I remember, because I had to pick up Mike Boone, which we talked about last episode. Got me 4 points. But anyway, do you see Dalvin Cook getting hurt again?
Yeah, I can see him getting hurt again. He's a really good player, a really good running back, a really good resource for the Vikings. But there's a chance he can go down. You know?
I think he has a lesser chance than someone like David Johnson who gets hurt every year.
And that's why he's no more on the Cardinals.
Yep.
So.
Do you see Dalvin Cook consistent top 10?
Not really. I don't really see him because it's consistent top 10.
Do you see him maybe 15?
Yeah, I can see him 15.
Yeah, I think I see him 15 as well. Just for the simple fact, you got the rookie receiver coming in. But I feel like, if anything, maybe he'll stay the same. Because, I feel like it's going to be a Diggs-Thielen situation in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
With Justin Jefferson coming in.
I forgot Diggs, yeah.
Well, yeah, Diggs is gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
But, next up, we got Derrick Henry, the Titans.
Yeah.
Now, I think this guy and Nick Chubb were some of the best standard league players.
Yeah, of course.
Do you like anything about Derrick Henry coming into next season?
Knowing how the Titans do, last season, made it to the playoffs, and beat the Ravens, So I can see Derrick Henry knowing they did that last year, so he's gonna progress more on his running game.
He's just such a big dude.
He is. So he's hard to take down, without a doubt.
I think he's averaging 6 or 7 yards a carry.
Yeah. So of course, in PPR and even standard, he gets those points.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he's really a PPR focused back because he wasn't catching too much.
Yeah, my bad.
But he can still fit PPR because he still gets you points and all.
Yeah, he still does.
But, he's not primarily receiving like a Kamara, Saquon, Zeke, Christian McCaffrey, people like that. Do you see Derrick Henry regressing at all?
Yeah, I can see him.
You do?
Yeah. Like I said, the Titans did really good last year, making it to the playoffs.
They still got Tannehill.
They do. So I can see him kind of dying down a bit, going down there more,
That's true. I don't know. I think it's tough to say about Derrick Henry because the man looks like he's not going to regress at all. He looks like he's just going to stiff arm the regression.
So, yeah, you just never know. He might just be consistent, all game.
I feel like that's what he's going to be. I feel like he's not going to be as fast.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to honestly be more strong.
He's gonna be a really good backup for your fantasy, of course.
Oh, yeah. If you can secure Derrick Henry.
Go for it, yeah. I mean, he's going to be there, get you the points. If one of these star running backs have a bye, put him in,
Mm-hmm. That's true. But let's say you're in like a two running back fantasy league where you gotta start two. Would you start Derrick Henry week in, week out? Is he a consistent starter for you, or like a backup?
No, he could be a consistent starter for me.
You think?
I would put him as one of my starters. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just Tannehill,
Yeah, that's pretty.
Because when it comes to Derrick Henry catching, it's like we said last episode. You got to trust the quarterback.
Yeah.
When it comes to wide receivers and people like that.
Quarterback, yeah.
And, Tannehill, he's Tannehill. I mean...
No definition there.
Yeah. I feel like... Because keep in mind, he played in Miami.
He did. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how else to, continue on that, but, I think he's got that Miami effect.
Yeah.
So, it's tough to say... I could see Derrick Henry. Do you see Derrick Henry top 5 though? What about that? No.
No, I really don't.
I don't either. It's too hard.
Of course, he's top 10. Like I said, this is our top 10 for now. Just what we have. We haven't really did the rookies or anything like that.
This is before all of them came in.
This is before. So again, it's gonna progress and change throughout the beginning of the season.
So next up, we're gonna move on to the Chargers with Austin Eckler.
Mm-hmm.
Melvin Gordon left. So I think obviously Austin Eckler is the starting back.
Yep.
He's got Justin Herbert, I think, throwing him the ball.
Yeah. With him being starting back now, and then it gives him a spot to open. It has a spot for him to fulfill. So I say he's gonna kind of progress. He might regress. Not gonna lie, for maybe the first couple of weeks.
I don't think he's gonna be catching as much.
I don't think so, either. But I don't really see him being consistent with his
Do you see
games.
him in that red zone where they're on the 5 or
yeah,
something?
I do see him in that position.
Do you see him rushing it in or catching?
I say rushing it in.
You do?
Yeah, because not only that, and if it's standard, you get those 6 points plus. If you have the quarterback 4, or something like that.
Yeah. Austin Eckler top 10 by the end of the season, you think? No?
I kind of think a rookie might come and sneak his spot.
I feel like that. I feel like it's going to be a Josh Jacobs situation.
Or even Drake. He might come and sneak in, something like that.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Chargers a lot this season.
Mm-hmm. Especially with them rebranding and being it's a new era for them.
Mm-hmm. You got the young rookie coming in. But, you got Tyrod Taylor mentoring the kid. Tyrod Taylor mentored Baker Mayfield. And look what happened. Not to bash on Tyrod or Baker, but I'm just saying,
Just look at the stats.
Yeah. I mean, when was the last Tyrod? I think he started when he started with the Browns last season.
Yeah.
And then Baker came in, but he wasn't a consistent starter.
Yeah.
Except for when he was on Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
So, dividing off a little bit of the top 10. What about Tyrod? Do you see him starting at all next season?
No, for Tyrod, for them, it's different for his position, with him going off the Browns and all that. I can probably see him starting.
I feel like he's going to be kind of how most teams do it, where the older guy starts
the
first couple games or so, and then maybe the rookie comes in.
Yeah.
Kind of what the Browns did with Baker.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Number 9, we have Nick Chubb. With the Browns. And Baker Mayfield.
You know what? I had Nick Chubb on my fantasy last year. He was he didn't he didn't have games that were really good for him, but of course when he was there for me, I really needed him. He was there. He got me those points. He got me the yards.
Do you remember like what he averaged? Was it about like 10, 15 points?
I think it was like about 10, 15 points actually. But yeah, like he's a good running back. Of course he's with the Browns. He has Mayfield, but
he's the clear back.
He is, and Mayfield can still. He's it's kind of a duo.
Mm-hmm. Do you see Nick Chubb regressing?
Sadly, I kind of do.
Yeah.
I do see Nick Chubb regressing because
he rushed a lot.
He did. He didn't really have a blow up last year, but of course, like I said, he was consistent. But like I don't really see him progressing.
Yeah.
He averaged about like more than 10 points. Each game.
That's pretty solid though.
That is. I mean, like 14, 23 here and there.
Mm-hmm. He had a couple games.
27, 39, 17, 19. He did really good. He was consistent.
But it's the Browns. They still got other weapons like OBJ and Landry, and Baker, as we saw, can throw interceptions here and there. Not to bash on him, but that's what happened.
He just didn't do so good the last couple weeks. But of course, he's playing against the Ravens, so he only got like 4.50, and then the Bengals, which was 5.20.
Which is surprising because the Bengals
were the number
terrible.
one. Yeah, they had the number one pick.
Yeah,
this year, so
that's why.
Of course. So.
Nick Chubb top 10 by the end of the season. You think?
I think so.
You think?
I think so. I could see him top 10.
If he repeats at all a little bit of last season, I can see that.
Yeah. Hopefully he does. But with him and Mayfield, he probably will. I think he can still be top 10 before the draft.
Yeah. Before the draft, I see that, but maybe like as the season progresses,
I don't see him.
I'm kind of with you. I feel like there's a rookie hiding, and he's gonna show out.
Yeah.
And, is there anyone in the first round? There was really only one running back in the first round that the Chiefs took.
Yeah, that's
good
true.
Old Clyde.
And now it's the last pick of the first round.
Yeah.
So
I feel like there's always people hiding in the draft.
Yeah,
there's
course.
always those gems.
Always, you just never know. There's always one rookie or two rookies hiding that are going to blow up and maybe take the number one spot next year,
That's true. I don't know. Because the only rookie running back I really think, I don't even think Clyde is really going to pop off.
Yeah.
But we're going to move on. Number 10, Josh Jacobs with the Raiders. He was in the running for Rookie of the Year last season.
Yeah, he was.
A lot of people said he got snubbed because of Kyler Murray getting it.
Yeah. Of course, he was a rookie last year. And like I said, no one really had Josh Jacobs in their sights, really.
No.
So, like, with him blowing up with the Raiders, he did really good for the Raiders. The Raiders needed that running back after, the hype about Marshawn Lynch coming back. Terrible.
He played for what, like a season? Or two?
Yeah, and he is out, and it's just.
He played with the Seahawks a little bit last year.
He did, but he came back. I mean, Josh Jacobs came and kind of fulfilled his shoes. Not really fulfill his shoes because he didn't really fulfill anything with Lynch, but like he kind of just was there for the Raiders.
I feel like Josh Jacobs
is a perfect fit.
Was the pass catching back they needed because he can catch it.
He can. And he's fast. He's
Yeah.
really fast.
And he's pretty strong,
Yeah.
He's a pretty good back.
And he's there for the Raiders, like, at the, say, 2-yard line to the end zone, 5-yard line to the end zone. He can rush that thing in there.
I remember watching the game when Josh Jacobs was playing against the Bears.
Yeah.
And that's when they had Akeem Hicks go down, their number one run blocker. And Josh Jacobs just, as soon as Hicks was out, Josh Jacobs was averaging like 5-6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
He was unstoppable. I think he finished that game with over 200 yards and like a touchdown or two. It's wild.
It was. I remember that too. Did you guys still have Mac?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember everyone was like, "Oh, Josh Jacobs going against Mac." I'm like,
nothing. He didn't do nothing.
Nothing, bro. Like, really? I don't know.
Do you see Josh Jacobs top 10?
I see him top 10.
You do?
Not because I'm biased.
Not because you're a Raiders fan.
I'm a Raiders fan, but for like on his stats, he's a rookie. He did really good last year. I say he can blow up this year for sure.
That's true. I kind of see him top 15.
Top 15.
Because as you said, and I think it was the first episode, Derek Carr.
Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started with Derek Carr.
Look, Derek Carr's good, But is he great?
Nope. I mean, of course, we gave him so many chances, but he's just not doing it for us. He's not. Like, oh, I don't know. We give her their card. I don't know. Give him a chance. Nope. No more. You gave him too many chances.
Well, I kind of feel like after this year, Derek Carr might leave.
Yeah, I see that
because,
too.
the draft went by, and the Raiders didn't really pick anyone.
Yeah. I mean, throughout his career, he was, like, the number one paid quarterback in the league for a bit,
If anything, I feel like a couple years back, he was kind of how people see Dak now.
Yeah.
Where he was just way overpaid.
He was.
Except Dak, I think, is actually pretty good.
Yeah, not gonna lie.
He had almost like 5,000 yards last
season. And he's consistent, Yeah. Derek Carr, you just never know. Like, there's a chance, of course, with them moving to Las Vegas, knowing that they kind of got rebranded, knowing maybe he might do good, knowing that it's a new era,
You never know.
You just never know.
Yeah, I don't... Do you see Josh Jacobs regressing, though?
I don't really see him regressing, probably because the Rays don't have any other really good resources besides to give Josh Jacobs. But, I mean, they got Darren Waller, of course, but, like...
And they picked up Henry Ruggs.
But I definitely still see them giving Josh Jacobs the ball. And Josh Jacobs, of course, is going to average, like, that 6 to 7 yards a carry.
Which is amazing.
It is good. He's fast, strong, So I could see him being consistent with his game. Not at all really regressing, but not really progressing as much.
You feel like he's going to stay steady?
Yeah, stay steady, consistent, Mm-hmm. I don't really see him regressing, going down low. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
It's a rookie, too.
I
mean, he was a rookie.
Yeah, he's going into his second season.
Like you said earlier, he was almost Rookie of the Year.
He was.
And then...
There was a lot that went on with Rookie of the Year runnings last year.
Yeah, so...
I think a lot of people actually didn't want Kyler to get Rookie of the Year. Because people were, like, showcasing Gardner Minshew's stats.
Yeah.
And he played less games than Kyler. And, Gardner Minshew didn't get it. Josh Jacobs didn't get it.
Kyler, he's still good, though.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good.
We have him in our top 10. If you want to tune in for that episode.
Yeah, so we got...
Probably next week.
We got top 10s for the, of course, opposition. They sub kickers and defense because, of course, it's kind of, basic. Kind of...
Yeah.
Just pick them up and see what happens.
Yeah, I feel like too much goes into that anyway.
Yeah.
We'd way have to...
And then it's, like, different for each league, so you never know what the stat is because defense sometimes, like, you get minus points if they allow this many yardage, Yeah. So you just never really know.
It's tough. But is there anyone that you think that's been kind of... I kind of actually want to touch on Le'Veon Bell.
As I said earlier, I was like, oh, wait, I forgot Le'Veon Bell. I had him last year. He was like he was always in my starting lineup, Le'Veon Bell. Before, I had David Johnson, and of course, he didn't do so good. So I traded him, because it was either David Johnson and Le'Veon Bell was my starting 2 running backs.
They picked up a pretty good O-lineman in the draft.
They did.
Do you see Le'Veon top 15?
I can see him top 15.
You think?
Yeah. I think people rank him like at least 20, but I can see him top 15.
I think it's going to be hard to say.
Because like the first week of last season, he got 23.20 points.
Like that's pretty good.
And he's been consistent, Maybe in week 7 and 8, he got less than 10 points, which is not bad. I mean, it's 8 and 6, but the rest of it's been more than 10 points. So it's not bad at all.
Is there anyone that you think could maybe break into the top 10? Like anyone that really kind of showed a little bit of sign last season? Because mine is kind of Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was kind of thinking Mixon and Chubb.
Mixon?
But Chubb's already up there. But like I was kind of thinking Mixon. I don't know why.
Joe Mixon is pretty solid.
He is.
I feel like with Joe Burrow coming in, he's gonna get more catches. I feel.
So I can see him sneaking his way into top 10.
That's true. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to say because you got John Ross and AJ Green there.
Yeah, and Mixon's just he wasn't bad last year. I mean, of course, teams picked him up. He was decent, but I can see him kind of getting that blow up game where he can.
One thing that it seems like Joe Mixon almost gets hurt like every day though.
Yeah,
not every day. I mean every season. So would that make it harder to see where to rank him?
Yeah,
because of the injuries.
Because he gets injured,
I think this season he got hurt, and last season he got hurt.
Yeah.
I remember because I kept trying to pick up Giovanni Bernard,
Mm-hmm.
And, you know.
What about Leonard Fournette?
Leonard Fournette? I don't know.
Yeah?
It's tough to say.
I mean, he was kind of consistent. Yeah. So, I guess, I mean, some people this is right here, they ranked him as 16. So he wasn't top 15, but, he's...
I just feel like the Jags were really stupid because they got rid of Calais Campbell.
Yeah. But also, or if we're talking about running backs that can sneak in top 10, I could even top 15, of course I could see Drake.
Yeah.
Drake.
I definitely see him breaking top 20 at least.
But I can see him sneaking into a high position.
That's true. So, next week we'll be starting on the quarterbacks.
Yep.
Moving into the wide receivers and probably finishing up with the tight ends.
Yeah. And of course, like I said earlier, I think I said twice now, it's going to progress the list. It's going to change throughout the weeks. So, but we'll keep you updated on that. See what changed, what rookies, fired, just whatever. So, all right. So we're running out of time. So we're gonna end the episode here. As again, follow our social media accounts for Instagram, which is fantasy.sports.podcast, and our Twitter account is F_S_podcast. And as always, thank you for tuning in for FS Podcast.